Hello, this is Megan.
And this is Mark.
Welcome to our 30-second video of the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge construction at Disneyland. Today is October 6th, 2018.
We are located on Chippendales Treehouse, looking at the Black Spire outpost in the distance. Notice that a new top structure has been added to this spire, and scaffolding has been removed from this spire. This is what it looked like last week, and I'll dissolve the picture back to what it looks like today. It's amazing how many domes have been put in place. We'll look at a split screen comparing this view to the official Galaxy's Edge model. If Chippendales Treehouse was on the model, it would be located about here. And our perspective is looking from the back end, so all the domes are configured in the reverse order. Basically, our line of sight is approximately like this. I'll go ahead and assign numbers to parts of the model and compare them to what we're seeing at the top of Chippendales Treehouse. Notice that number 6 from the Chippendales view has a temporary cover on top. This dome was the first dome built in Black Spire Outpost. Let's go ahead and take a trip down memory lane. This is what it looked like back in October 2017, almost exactly 1 year ago. This view is from Big Thunder Trail entrance, and we can see the framework of the dome. Also, right next to it, we can see the framework for one of the spires, which is number 4 when we go back to the comparison. We'll pan to the right and get a close-up view of this spire. This spire last week didn't have concrete. To the right of this spire, we can see some amazing detail that has been added to a couple structures. The age detail that has been added to the sidewalls is really well done. And even though these structures have just been made, this aged look makes it appear that they've been around a long time ago. Now let's do another comparison with a model. This is the angle that we're looking from, and our line of sight is approximately like this. Now let's look at a number comparison. Next, if we look closely at the left of the picture, we can see framework for a structure. And the structure can be recognized on the model. We'll look at the developments of the Cantina next. We can see that stucco has been added to the sidewall. Let's get a closer look. Here we can see some of the stucco netting that we saw them add last time we were here. And stucco netting is used to make sure that the stucco, once it's added, adheres to the wall. You can see the area where the stucco has been added versus the area that it hasn't. And here's another view. Next we'll go to the top of Tarzan's treehouse. From here, we have a good view of the newly added structure. Switching angles, we can see the spire that has the newly added concrete. Let's get a closer look.
Today is October 12th, 2018.
We're viewing the back end of the battle escape from the Mickey and Friends parking structure. On the ground level, framework for a battle escape set piece is just about to be brought into the show building. Let's take a closer view. Workers are pushing and guiding the framework into the building. Next we'll go to Chippendales Treehouse to view the development of Black Spire Outpost. First, let's zoom in on this spire to see the detail work close up. It is really looking nice. If we look to the left, we can see that they're in the process of adding gold sheathing to the structure. This is what it looked like last week, and I'll dissolve the picture back to what it looks like now. Here on Donald's boat in Mickey's Toontown, we can see that workers are continuing to add detail work to the turret. They're adding detail to the turret to make it look more aged, so it looks like it's been around for a while. Now we'll go back to the Mickey and Friends parking structure. Here we can see that workers are in the process of adding sheet segments that are porous to the back end of the rock formations. These sheets are being used to cover up the mesh to give it a more finished look. It is possible that these will be used to absorb sound. We'll know for sure when it develops a little more. If they will be used to get rid of the unwanted sound, due to its porous property, the sheets will absorb sound energy by dampening the oscillation of air particles by friction. So basically, it'll help minimize the amount of unwanted sound from entering Galaxy's Edge. This is very similar to the function of the backside of Cars Land. It is very possible it'll be used for sound absorption, but we will see. If that's the case, I like how Disney's making the sound absorbing material blend into the surroundings. It's a nice added touch.
Today's October 20th, 2018.
Here at the top of Tarzan's treehouse, we can see that scaffolding debris netting has been put around one of the spires. And this netting will be used to protect the surrounding structures once they add the next layer of concrete to the spire. This is what it looked like at the beginning of the month. Notice that scaffolding debris netting is up to the right of the picture to contain the concrete from spreading. Now I'll dissolve the picture back to what it looks like now. Next we'll go to Chippendales Treehouse. A green coating has been added to the structure, and we've seen this coating added to many other structures in the outpost. It's basically a flexible coating that seals small cracks and holes. Also, it provides a very high level of air tightness as well, and will increase the energy efficiency in the buildings. Down on the ground level, that unfortunately we can't see from this angle, but down approximately here is where the Millennium Falcon is being made. And recently, which is really cool, there was a satellite photo released by Nearmap that shows the Millennium Falcon. We'll look at that next. Alright, in the center of the picture we can see parts of the Millennium Falcon that have been assembled. Also, if you look closely, you can see Millennium Falcon segments in the crates that are ready to be installed. Next, we'll go on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Looking in the distance, you can see that they're in the process of installing a spacecraft. I'll zoom in. At this point, the spacecraft is only partly assembled. The side panel and the tail fin haven't been put on yet. We went ahead and rode Big Thunder Mountain again. Now a worker is installing the side panel. We'll get a close-up view. Notice the numbers on the side of the craft. The numbers pay homage to the original trilogy. 1977 was the year the original Star Wars came out, and the final movie of the trilogy was Return of the Jedi, which came out in 1983. Notice that some writing is located below the 83. I went ahead and used a translator card that was given out at the Galactic Nights event earlier this year, and the writing says, "Keep upright." Okay, next we'll go into Mickey's Toontown. From here we can see a crane in the distance. The crane is lifting the tail fin for the spacecraft. Here on Chippendales Treehouse, we can see the tail fin being guided and lowered onto the body of the spacecraft. We'll watch them lower it into position. Now we'll see what kind of view we can see from the Mark Twain. We have an excellent view of the tail fin and a little bit of the body of the craft, but not much from this angle. That tail fin is really impressive. Alright, we'll go back to Big Thunder Mountain to view the spacecraft from that perspective. It is impressive. This is what it looked like last week. Notice the base structure for the spacecraft. Now I'll dissolve the picture back to what it looks like now. In the comments section of my last video posted, David Nevelow mentioned that it's beginning to look a lot like Star Wars. Megan and I absolutely agree. With the addition of the Millennium Falcon and now this spacecraft, final touches are starting to come together. Well, that's a taste of things to come.
We can't wait to see what they build next.